Hey, what's up YouTube? Flex and Joe, and I'm in my kitchen dining room area right now, just doing a little meal prep. I got some chicken cooking in the oven, and I thought it'd be a good time for some story time. So, two stories real quick. The first one is about my buddy Austin here. So this little boy named Austin came up to me at my daughter's softball game and legitimately asked me to sign his baseball. And I was like, what? As I started looking around, and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, I'm getting punked right now. Like, there's no way. So he hands me an actual baseball and he's like, will you sign my baseball? I was like, are you for real? And he's like, yeah. Like, I was like, well, I don't have a pen. So he's like, oh. And so he runs off, gets a pen, comes back like 20 minutes later. It seemed like 20 minutes anyways. And in that short time, my mother-in-law had sat down next to me. She had gotten to the game a little bit later. And he comes back, he's like, hey, I got a pen, will you sign my baseball? And she starts giggling, laughing like, and I start laughing. I was like, man, you really serious? You want me to sign my baseball? He's like, yeah. I was like, do you know who I am? And he was like, yeah, you're Flexing Joe. And so he wanted me to sign his baseball. So here it is. Picture of him and I legitimately signed this kid's baseball. I can't believe it. So shout out to you, Austin. It's still pretty funny. I think about that. That was like 3-4 months ago. It's still funny. And your brother Brandon, I hope he feels better. I heard Brandon broke his arm. He jumped down off of it, or I don't want to say jumped down, but there was an accident involving like this big spider web mesh thing at the school, and he like fell off or whatever. But anyways, Brandon plus the spider web mesh thing equals Brandon broken arm. So I hope you feel better, Brandon. And Austin, I hope you still got that baseball. It may be worth some money one day. It's probably not gonna be worth anything. It's probably worth less now, but you never know. And the second story, also a funny one involving kids around the same age, because I think Austin's probably about like 9 or 10. Maybe I think Brandon's like 11 or 12, because they're around the same age as my oldest, and she's 11. And so the second story involves kids who are about 13. So I was at this event, right? It's called National Night Out. I'm sure some of you in the United States should have heard of it. You know, it's basically where, you know, police department, fire department, everybody, they all get out and just kind of have a night, you know, get together, you know, in each town, right? And so the company I work for was there. You know, we're serving hot dogs and chips and drinks and all that stuff. So I'm standing there, and this is a whole bunch of my work buddies there and stuff like that, because we help sponsor the event and just give back to the community and everything. And so I'm standing there, and like, I'm dieting, okay, and I'm holding my daughter. This is the time she had her broken wrist, so I'm holding her hot dog in one hand and like her drink and chips like in the other hand, just trying to hold on to everything, okay. And so one of my buddies from work happens to see this situation unfolding and decides to get it on video. So I'm sorry the kind of poor picture quality of the video. Also, you know, he shot it in portrait mode, I guess, and not in landscape. You know, he's a rookie, but I'll teach him up. And anyways, he was a good distance away, so he zoomed in. But these two boys came up to me and started talking to me, and the first one said to me, like, he like looks at my arm, my left arm, which I think my right arm's, you know, bigger, a little more impressive, but he looks at my left arm, he points to it, and he's like, hey man, where'd you get those? And he's like all serious, and I start talking about working out, and then like he keeps like touching me and patting me. And so afterwards, my buddies were like, dude, it was like a petting zoo, man. They were just like, because they were like touching my arms and like squeezing my arms and like my shoulders. And in this clip, you can see like the kids. I wish he recorded the whole thing. Even this I thought was a setup. Like, I thought somebody told you boys to come over here. I asked them and they were like, no, what are you talking about? They were like all serious, but they kept asking me all these questions. But oh my God, it's so funny. Like, just being around young kids, it's fun. It's fun. And then lastly, I'm gonna finish up with this one. So this was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. I was at the beach, and they call it a beach, all right? It is a very small pond here by my house, with like some sand and rocks. And I believe it was my youngest daughter. She was there for her friend's birthday party, and This little girl comes over to me and she starts heckling the hell out of me. She's like, I hope you don't think your arms are big. My daddy has bigger arms than you. My daddy's stronger than you. And I didn't even say anything to this girl, but whew, she was going up one side of me and down the other, man. She was letting me know I am not anything and her dad is the king, you know? Oh, man. Funny stories, man. The funniest stuff happens, too, from working out. Like, I think most people in their brains, they have it one way. Like, you know, I'm going to work out, maybe I'll get a little muscular, and I might attract attention from, like, females who are a similar age. Never happens. Never happens. If that's what you think it's going to happen, that ain't what happens. It's dudes. It is from young boys to, like, senior citizens, because if a senior citizen, he wants to tell you about how he looks so good, and he was practically like Dorian Yates on stage, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was one of them dudes. He used to bench like 1,800 pounds. And then if it's a little boy or anybody up in between, they just want to talk to you, you know, what's your routine and all that, how'd you get arms or whatever the case may be. And then there's all kinds of other little kids, you know, and maybe the occasional older woman, like older woman. I got hit on by, I was in BJ's Wholesale Club. You know, it's like a Costco or a Sam's Club or whatever you guys got near you. I was there, and this older woman was just like, she looked at me. Oh my God. She looked at me and she was like, oh, wow. I was, geez, crow. She was like in her 50s or 60s or something, man. I don't know. It's funny business, man. It's funny. It's funny. Young guys, if you think you're going to get into working out and you're going to attract attention from females your age, it ain't going to happen. But, hey, that's it for story time with Flex and Joe. I'm out. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Giveaway's still going on. Once I hit 500 subscribers, I've been inching my way up there. So once I hit 500, one of you lucky subscribers who lives within the United States will get 2 t-shirts and a shaker bottle. All right. I'll see you guys later.